going to chat about the ever controversial topic of vaginal delivery versus C-section.
Eek.
Eek. The three of us have very different stories with regards to C-section and vaginal delivery, and we're going to be chatting about that today and just sharing our stories. Lee, share your story with us.
So I was always going to have an elective Caesar. I'm not going to try and pretend I wasn't. But I did end up actually having an emergency C-section because my daughter came 4 weeks early. So that wasn't exactly how I wanted it to go down. I didn't have my music all lined up.
Yeah.
It was going to play in the theatre and whatnot. But I don't know. I take my hat off to the moms that have delivered vaginally, but I just thought of it scared the living shit out of me. Like and then you pretend you're like, oh no, save the beaver, have a Caesar, because you're trying to hide behind that. But I literally was terrified of, especially after the antenatal class, when they show this is your vagina and this is the baby's head, and it has to come through this hole, and you're like,
not my hole. I never did antenatal classes.
Lucky you.
Did you?
Yes, I did.
Is that what they?
Well, they teach you, they teach you how to, prepare yourself. Yeah, it's like a heads up for how to bath the baby, how to feed the baby, how to squeeze the baby out your cooch.
And basically they told you that your vagina is going to stretch to this.
Well, yeah, they
with the dilation.
Yeah, they showed you how it would stretch to the dilation, but they also were saying, the baby's head isn't. It's not like it's there's stretching and tearing.
I feel like I've just been schooled.
Oh, you've never
been to an antenatal class ever? No.
Why?
I just chose not to. I was like, it's a waste of money.
But with your first,
no.
Did you feel like I can do this?
I was like,
class. This is easy. But was it just being scared? That was just it.
Yeah, I mean, I was scared that I would tear. My sister had her first child when I was 17. She's a lot older than me.
Yeah.
So at 17, I heard about how she had a pineapple in her underpants because she had torn so badly giving birth. So I think from then it was oh my God, I do not want to push a baby out of my vagina. It is not natural.
To have a pineapple in your underpants.
Well, to push a baby out of your vagina, to have a pineapple in your underpants, any of that stuff, how can that be natural? It can't be natural. Just cut it out. And
then you ended up having an emergency C-section.
Yeah.
And that experience, how did you find that?
Well, it was traumatizing because there were a lot of, concerns for me, for the baby, because it was an emergency C-section. She was not getting oxygen, etc., etc. So I wasn't really thinking about the birth process. I mean, I was just, in shock. So it was more just get her out. I didn't really think about how or what or when.
Just her safety was more important to you because she was in distress, wasn't she?
Yeah.
And so I have a question about that. The whole romantic notion of giving birth was totally taken away from you.
No, totally. Because she didn't even come back to the maternity ward with me. I was like the crazy cat lady in the maternity ward because I was the only one there
without a child. Yeah. Just sitting there with him. That's not nice though.
So your first experience of birth was not romantic at all.
But are any of them?
No.
That's the point, right?
I'm so glad you said that.
Hey, I mean, you had this plan. You were gonna film your water birth and all sorts, and it didn't work out that way completely for you either.
Yeah, no, it didn't. The thing with me is, and the reason I chose a vaginal delivery is I was obsessed with childbirth after I found out I was expecting.
Yeah.
I started watching videos very early on in my pregnancy, and I wanted to watch vaginal deliveries without medical intervention. So no painkiller, no epidural, nothing. I watched that so many times.
Are you like, do you have a problem? There's something wrong with your head. No medication. I don't mean that in an accent.
I understand. I was just obsessed with it. And I think for me, and I think that's where the conversation needs to start, by trying to understand why you make a decision to give. That's why I wanted to find out from Lee why she decided to do a C-section. Because she was scared. I think that's where it starts. Because for me, I wanted to feel the pain.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, you see, I didn't want to feel anything. And I didn't. That's the thing with a C-section. You literally don't feel anything. At one point, my knee was by my head, and I was looking at it, going, "Who is that? Like that? What is it?" And then the anaesthetist looked at me, and he saw my confusion, and he was like, "Yeah, it's your leg." I was like, "Oh right, okay, that's weird."
Apparently, some women actually like pass out because they're not supposed to look at their legs because they are absolutely numb. So when they look at them and they can't feel them,
it
makes them
weird
panic.
feeling. It's a very weird feeling. But you didn't you?
Yeah, I did. But I'm so intrigued by the fact that you said you wanted to feel the pain. Why?
Do
you mind?
No. It's not a problem. For me, it was going to be a breakthrough. I feel like in my childhood, I went through so much nonsense. But a lot of emotional trauma. So for me, it was just going to be a big breakthrough for me. I feel like if I can tolerate and endure the pain of childbirth,
I can do
anything.
It's true.
Absolutely anything.
That's why I take my hats off to women who have had natural childbirth.
So,
vaginal childbirth. Sorry.
We're
not going to call it natural.
No, we're not calling it natural. It's not natural, it's vaginal.
From the pineapple and the is natural.
So you wanted a water birth, you didn't get that done.
So I did not necessarily want a water birth. I wanted to use water as a pain relief.
Okay.
Yeah. So I don't want to use the word natural, but I just wanted the natural pain relief.
More homeopathic.
Yes, because water helps. I think I took like 3 showers when I was progressing from home because the water was very
And did you have it in a
hospital.
Have your baby in a hospital?
Yes, the maternity clinic. So I went to
the Genesis. Okay.
But I progressed from home.
And you recorded your entire... Who did the recording?
I was obsessed. A friend of mine, I asked her to be my doula, so my birthing partner. So she was responsible for...
Karaba's video is on YouTube if you guys want to pop over and have a look.
I'll watch.
It's quite intense.
It is. And
I got scared.
Really.
That whole thing, you're like, scared about vaginal delivery. When I saw this, I was like...
Yeah.
It's like something out of a Star Wars movie.
Yeah, it's painful. I think that's one thing I don't like to women about. Because they're like, oh my gosh, you didn't do it without painkillers. Like, I did, but it was sore.
Will you do it again?
As hell, yes.
Without painkillers?
Yes. I feel like I did it once.
That's amazing. I feel like...
do it again.
And there's so many different stories about, I don't know if you guys have heard them, where people say that, yes, vaginal delivery is extremely painful, but it's gone.
Yes.
Whereas a C-section, you have almost 6 weeks of recovery and pain. And people, there's such a contradicting conversation because people are like, no, vaginal delivery is much more difficult, but some people are C-sections are much more difficult, or the recovery with C-section. I don't know.
But let's face it, guys, you've grown a human being and you've brought a human being into this world out of your body. Regardless of how you do it, it's going to be sore in some way, shape or form. So I think, I didn't find the recovery from the C-section very painful. I didn't struggle with pain that much. Obviously it was sore, but like I think the pain of recovering from a C-section is nothing compared to the pain of going through birth or labor, whatever you want to call it.
I think I always just tell people that story when we're having I don't like the versus conversation really, but I was on my feet right after the placenta was out. Like I walked to the shower, I took a shower, went to our recovery room, I started breastfeeding.
But you're obviously bleeding still quite a bit.
Yes.
You bleed a lot with a C-section as well.
I think you bleed regardless because it's getting rid of all the stuff that's been feeding the kid for the last 9 months.
So I had 3 elective C-sections because it took us 6 years to have our first, our daughter. And the gynae said to me, this child is very, it's a miracle that you're pregnant. I know people wouldn't say that because we have 5 kids, but apparently. Anyway. So he said, I think you should have a C-section because it's the safest delivery for a baby. And I remember a friend coming to me, just married, no children, and she said to me, you need to go back to your gynae and tell your gynae that he's making a mistake. He's putting your child's life in danger. And I was like, who
do you
think you are you
Yeah.
to tell me that my gynae, a professional who I'm paying, that he's making a mistake? I felt so insulted. And that whole time I was just like, am I making the wrong decision? Should I go through natural birth?
Yeah.
Vaginal delivery?
Yeah. So I've got a strong view on this, in that the number one cause of death in women in the world to this day is childbirth. So, and I know that statistic is obviously weighted in favor of people who maybe don't have access to really good healthcare, etc., etc. But the point is that childbirth is no joke. Like it is a dangerous thing.
Yeah.
And the one thing that I do know about C-sections, and they both have their pros and cons, and they both have their risks, and you need to just weigh up what risks are fine in your head for your family, for you personally. But C-sections are predictable. In the sense that they're scheduled for a particular day, the people are there, the things are there. In vaginal delivery, because it is so unpredictable, that's where the risks come in. I mean, you don't know, like the child's cord could be around his neck, it could, breached, and then blood loss. All of those things are real factors for childbirth. So, and I'm not saying that I don't think childbirth, that vaginal childbirth is wrong, or that people shouldn't do it. I'm just saying that you have to be well aware of what the different pros and cons are, what the risks are, and weigh up what you think is best for you. I seriously struggle from anxiety, and the thought of not knowing when my baby was coming into the world also was just too much for me to be. Like, I just needed to know what was the plan, what was the step by step. I mean, it never happened, but at least I thought it was going to happen. So for at least 8 months, I had a plan. And that was the plan. It wasn't like this wondering what was going to happen, and is she going to be breached? Is it going to take 36 hours? Is it going to take 2 hours? I knew what, you know. So I just think it's...
But the thing for me is, I've obviously written that article about vaginal delivery versus C-section, and I sat and did a lot of research, and you get the actual gynae's perspective in terms of why do you choose to do a C-section. And a lot of the time it's not necessarily because they feel like your body's too small or your baby's in breach or whatever. It's because they're also trying to avoid being medically sued. It's an actual thing. They choose to select that because for one, it's convenient. I can just schedule them on Thursdays, and that's when I do C-sections. So I don't have to inconvenience my schedule for the rest of the week. And I don't want people coming back to me and saying, oh, I've got incontinence. Oh, I can't control my bowel movements now. I'm going to sue you. I'm going to sue you for pelvic floor.
But surely they're covered for stuff like that.
But do you know how much a gynecologist spends every year on medical insurance?
No.
R1 million. R1 million of their profit.
And I think we're also living in a different world now, where people are quick to jump and say, so you made a mistake. I just feel like, as a mom that has had 3 elective C-sections, I get insulted when somebody will be like, oh, did you ever think of trying vaginal delivery? And I'm like, no. Especially when we were living in the States, and
C-sections aren't
it was taboo, and I fell pregnant at 35, and so I'm past maternal age. That's what they called me, past maternal age.
The geriatric
I'm a geriatric woman already, and I'm only in my 30s. Anyway, and I had to, because I'd already had 2 C-sections. The third one is the last one you're allowed to have, apparently. I mean, I don't know how true that is. But in the community, when they'd say, oh, when's your due date? And I'd be like, oh, no, this date. And they're like, oh, how can you be so sure? Because I'm having a C-section. The look on people's faces.
This is in America.
Yes.
That's crazy because they on like 21%.
It
like
is,
1.1% of their births are C-section. And the
but
recommended
it's
is
not.
But I don't think it's socially acceptable.
It's not socially acceptable to have a C-section, and but at that point, I was just like, well, I actually don't really give a shit what you think because this is my 5th child. Just take
but
your
also,
opinion and
I
leave.
mean, even if you had wanted to do vaginal delivery after that, it would have been super dangerous.
Exactly.
Because having had 2 C-sections and now to have a vaginal delivery, I don't know that the doctor would have even let you try.
No, she wouldn't.
So,
She was anti me having a VBAC. But I think what I've learned from all of this is the fact that people, mothers, non-mothers, still judge the C-section more than they judge the vaginal birth.
Well, that's because vaginal birth is natural. But
is it?
No,
is
no, no.
it?
So
It's not.
It's not. But the thing is that there's all these misconceptions, like you're not woman enough to push. Like I mean,
You're not strong enough.
Even the
Lazy.
story of that birthing photographer, who a woman asked her to photograph her birth, and when the woman found out it was a C-section, she said, "Sorry, I'm not going to photograph your birth because it's not a real birth. If you want to do it the right way, phone me and I'll come and do it." Like she She literally like took this chick to town in this email about how she's lazy and she's taking the easy way out. How's this going to stand her in good stead for being a mother if she always takes the easy way out?
Why is it necessary for us to get involved in somebody else's decision?
Yeah.
You know.
But I think our society has evolved so much that for me it's not a crazy thing. I'm obviously, I don't care how you brought your child into the world. Because your child is here, that's all that matters. But if you kind of look at the history of a C-section, for example, to actually kind of find out why there was a C-section in the first place. Like kids were removed surgically if the mother had died during labor. So it was trying to save the child more than it was actually trying to save the mother from actually feeling the pain. And I think that's what people kind of base it on, that a C-section is only meant to happen if there's a reason for it to happen.
It's only meant to naturally happen if there's a reason for it to happen. But again, you said it just now, it is one of the most safest ways to bring out a child.
Well, in the moment. So, you know, I mean, I know there's a lot of theories around, you know, what it means for your child to not have had the journey through the birth canal and the alignment of the spine, and what's they now are doing where they take a swab and put it into the child's nose and mouth. So they'll take a swab of your vagina after birth and put those probiotics or bacteria or whatever into the child's nose and mouth. No, because she had natural birth. I'm saying C-section. So if you don't give birth vaginally, now there's people who'll, I can't remember what it's called.
I feel like I'm so ignorant in this entire conversation. I seriously feel ignorant with what you're saying, with what this taking vaginal juices and putting it in your child's nose and mouth if you have a C-section.
Because of the bacteria in your...
It's good bacteria.
Yeah.
They're supposed to
that. So they're supposed to ingest it as part of their prepping them for gut health. And that happens during the birth canal. But I'm like, guys, when your kid's 21, like, do you not think that they'll have the gut health that they would have, you know? Like, do you not think that, like, I think we overthink everything so much. Like, just do what's right for you and comfortable for your own family. Who gives a shit about everything else? It'll all come right in the end because you're not in control. You're not in control of anything.
Are we ever in control?
No.
But my thing is, I feel like our bodies are built for it.
Yeah, I mean, I totally agree. I think our bodies are made for it. But I think sadly sometimes our minds aren't. And that's the issue.
And I think the reality is that we need to stop mom shaming each other. We can't take your decision and break it down, your decision and break it down, or mine. We've got to respect each other, and we've got to build that community where we are with each other. It doesn't matter what our choices or opinions are. We've just still got to uplift each other, and mom shaming needs to stop.
Yep.
Wrap up.
Chink.